In this session, I'm gonna handle about mobile device operating system. So, what is a mobile device operating system? So, the mobile device operating system, otherwise called as mobile OS. So, it is specifically designed to run on the mobile device, such as smartphones, mobile, PDAs, tablets, etc. The mobile operating system is a software platform, so on top of which other programs called applications will be running on. So usually the difference with this mobile operating system and conventional operating system is that the mobile operating system, as I said before, it is completely customized according to the specific purpose of a mobile device. So in this particular thing, so the major part is that managing resources. So always the resources are like constrained with mobile operating system. So why we are using very limited processing power, and then memory is very less, and over and above we are utilizing a battery backup. So managing resources is uttermost important in mobile operating system. A conventional mobile device operating system, it consists of four layers mainly. The first layer, the first layer is low level hardware, and the second layer is device operating system. The third layer is OS libraries, and the fourth layer is application. So usually this low level hardware is one specific hardware which is developed uniquely for the different devices. And whereas then operating system which communicates directly to the hardware. So what the operating system should be capable enough is that so all the hardwares or 100% should be utilized, and the OS library should communicate to the operating system, where this responsibility of OS library is to communicate the application to the operating system and from operating system to the hardware. So this is how from top to bottom the communication happens, and from the bottom to top this is how vice versa communication happens. So what are the key features or what are the expectation of mobile operating system? So the features are the mobile operating should be multitasking, scheduling, memory allocation, file system interface, keypad interface, IO interface, protection and security, and multimedia features. So there are many commercial operating systems, among which one of the popular mobile operating system is Windows Mobile and iOS, Android. These are all the current scenario. These are all the one of the most important operating system that end users are utilizing it. Out of it, PalmOS, Symbian, BlackBerry are the other not much popularized, but they were ruling the market during the release of this operating system. So first, let us see the Windows Mobile OS. So Windows Mobile OS is what a compact operating system designed specifically uh, for mobile, which is based on Windows 32. So it is like it provides ultimate interoperability where multiple machines in the multiple hardware machines it can be installed. And after that, the Windows CE was introduced, which is 32-bit API based operating system, which can be installed in PDA. And later, mobile OS were introduced, which is having a capability without phone capabilities. So these are all the few histories about the development of Windows mobile operating system. It starts in 1996 with version 1.0, and in the year 2005 they started WM, that is Windows Mobile version 5 or CE Compact Edition 5.0. So in the 2007 WM6 were introduced, and also in the same year the iPhone were coming to the entire globe into the market. Is one of the big competitor. So now it is faced by this Windows and other operating system. And 2008, 2009 and 2010, slowly these operating systems were customized according to the usage and the hardware. So the next one of the popular operating system a decade back is that Symbian OS. So it is developed by Nokia, and most of the Symbian OS is specifically designed and developed based on the ARM architecture. So it is a multitasking operating system with a very less dependencies, and kernel runs in the privileged mode. So it exports a service to use the application libraries. So user libraries includes networking, communication, I/O interface, and etc. Access to these services are completely coordinated with the help of client-server framework. So these API is completely exposed to the server to communicate with the server. The client-server communication is conducted by the kernel itself. So here, as I showed you, here is the layered architecture from bottom to top. You can see the hardware to the libraries. So where this is the lowest layer is the hardware layer. So where the Symbian OS based kernel will run on top of the hardwares. Symbian uses the server client concept. So on top of that server and the virtual machines. The usage of the application engine is to communicate directly to the server and then take the dependencies so that client and server works. The servers will try to communicate to the kernel and then to the hardware. Like that, vice versa, the communication happens with the Symbian OS. The key feature is that the data tagging is one of the advantage of using the Symbian OS. The data tagging is nothing but it has a private data partitioning which is called as data caging. This private partition which helps the entire device to split into as much as possible so that all the data are stored more securely and safely. So the same thing was explained here as a platform security. Symbian supports multimedia, international support, and fully object-oriented design, and then it optimized memory management, and then client-server architecture as well. So one of the another important aspects of Symbian is that it uses hardware abstraction layer. So this layer provides a consistent interface to the hardware and supports device independently. And then kernel offers the hard real-time guarantees to the kernel and user mode threads. So another important leap is that the iPhone operating system. So iPhone operating system initially it starts with Apple, which are mobile operating system initially developed by iPhone. So now it is extended to iPad, iPod Touch, Apple TV, and so and all. Initially, it is known as iPhone OS. In June 2010, it was renamed as iOS. So iOS is not enabled for cross-licensing. The user interface of iOS is based on concept of usage of multi-touch gestures. So the iOS was the first most device which supports multi-touch gesturing, and iOS is based on the Unix. And iOS has four abstraction layers, namely Core OS, Core Service Layer, Media Layer, and Cocoa Touch Layer. And this particular Cocoa Touch layer is very state of the art of its kind, because so the first mobile phone device which is supported both input and output is the Cocoa Touch layer. So where you can from there only the touchscreen has evolved throughout the globe. So now more than 550,000 applications are running in the year 2012, but now it goes millions. So you can see with this graph, so number of apps with respect to the year. So you can see it has crossed, the application has crossed 153,000 million applications and games over it. So the iOS is the initially it was the Cisco's trademark, and then Apple acquired its license, and this is the architecture of this Mac OS X. So here you can see the kernel environment, core services, and then application services. On top of that, you have this classic carbon core layer, JDK, and then BSD. So you have a real-time rendering engine where it helps to render the real-time video and audio streams. So this is a very basic architecture where the macOS X was, while introducing it was there. Now the complexity has increased, and Android is what one of the like highest boomed operating system ever. So it was now owned by Google, and in 2011 Microsoft announced that agreement was made with the devices hardware manufacturing companies like Samsung, HTC to collect fees from them, but Android is not doing so. So Android source code is completely open source. It is based on the Linux version. Android as a Linux-based operating system for mobile device. As I said, in 2005, it acquires the Android. The Google started the Android Inc. Uh, it acquired this Android Inc. and made it as a Google's own property. And then in the 2007, Google formed an open source alliance where 86 hardwares were allied with the Google operating system, so that this particular operating system was used overall the globe by all the 86 hardware manufacturers. So now this operating system is used by multiple devices like Samsung, Motorola, HTC, LG, Sony, etc. Android developer community has a large number of developers, so where you have Java and Google Play is having more than 4.5 million app developers across the globe, and it paid for free. So it is estimated that in December 2011, 10 billion apps were downloaded. Thank you for your patience. Looking forward to the another sessions. Thank you. Have a great day.